Yeah, so back in October, we moved this new ministry we have called Lux. Lux is Latin for light, and it's completely connected to John 4. Shocker that I would connect everything I do to this gospel, but
I love that it's on the heels of the conversation we were just having about light. So, yes.
yes, yes. So it is really beautiful. I'm so thankful that God is working in this in so many different ways. So yeah, so Lux is Latin for light, and we started this ministry last year. It's over a year old, and when we moved it last year into an app form, the whole point was to really engage community because we saw that that was lacking in the first platform that we used. So we have the Lux app now where we pray. It's just for women, where we pray every single day. We have a chaplain in there that guides us, even has nightly prayer. There's formation. It's really beautiful. But I think what I've learned in terms of digital discipleship is that community is so important. And I think that that's probably white noise to many ministry leaders. Like, yeah, I know. In fact, we do that really, really good. And here are our numbers. But community is not numbers. It's not how many you're getting. It's the person to person connection, and it's also vulnerable connection. Are people just connecting like, hey, how you doing? Or are they really heart to heart connecting? And one of the things that we've seen in our private community, because it is so important, because it's not Facebook and it's not Twitter and it's not Instagram where you only put out like the really special stuff, like the really highlight reels of your life. And even then you're putting a filter on it anyway. But we are noticing inside of our app that women are really going deep, that they are sharing their suffering, their loss. We've got women who are in there saying, I just had a miscarriage, or I just lost my mother, or I just gave birth to this baby, whatever it might be. But they are actually getting at that vulnerable level we talked about in the other podcast of being really raw, and then having this community surround them that is praying for them actively. Like they're stopping right then and there. You see women in their comments, they're writing out their prayer that they're saying right there for the woman. Like, God the Father, have your mercy. It's just so beautiful to read all these comments, and you see this community rallying behind this woman. And I'm like, that's sisterhood. That is discipleship, is allowing a platform where you are not just the leader in your ministry, but you're discipling others to be leaders in your community. And if you're not willing to pass the torch, and if you're only going to want to hold on to the torch, then you're not made for ministry. You're made for the world. Well, you're not really made for the world, but you're acting like you're being made for the world.
You want to be the greatest.
Yeah.
And that's not the Jesus way.
And we need to serve. And so what we're learning in this digital discipleship and this digital ministry life, and what I have been learning recently is how to take your community online and to make it count, and to bring out that vulnerable connection between each person. And so having the right platform in place to do that is really important, so people can engage with one another, which of course makes it easier, or at least a good habit, to start engaging in the person of Jesus Christ.
If you enjoyed this conversation from the Transforming Discipleship podcast, listen to the full episode at SmallGroups.com/podcast.